So it's below freezing still. Supposedly it was 28 last night. My thermometer says it's 38 out here. The flowers might be finished. We'll see. I think that's our hawk that circles around. So it sounds like finches, I think. We're picking at this stuff this morning. Probably whatever frozen bugs there are. Oh look, there's still some birds in there. Might be sparrows. Who knows? So all these frozen flowers were definitely done. Sounds like construction, because there's always been construction since COVID. I hate it. I don't know if you can tell. Grass is all crunchy. So, we're going down to the garden for the first time since really hard frost to check out what happened down here. After the first time that the cold got sped up. So instead of Thursday night, I think it started Monday night, maybe Tuesday night, I don't remember. So the tomatoes in the front here, ooh, I have one of those situations where I have coffee, a camera phone, and a garden gate. Let's see how this works. Okay, it actually worked. So I had, the tomatoes in the front here had died. Ooh, I guess the rhubarb's done too. I guess everybody's done. Ooh, even those chives that grew back. Well, I gave them the opportunity. So, the tomatoes in the front here had died back. And the ones here were still good. Presumably they're done already. Depending on how this stuff bounces back after a frost, that's what I'll do next. So I don't know if you can tell, the outside of these passion fruit leaves are definitely heavily frosty, but I don't know if it can handle it, right? So I don't know if it can bounce back after that or if it's just done, because from what I read, these beans can handle a frost, even though some of them are kind of bowed over, but supposedly they can handle a frost and bounce back okay, because it's going to be like 40s at night and mid 60s during the day again this upcoming week. So assuming they handled the frost okay, all of the tender plants like the tomatoes should be out, but then everything that can handle a frost should have a good successful week. So I was thinking this weekend, if I feel good enough, and the shot to my sciatic nerve on Monday felt great Monday and Tuesday, but it feels a little bit worse again, and it might be because I'm moving too much, right? When I feel better, I forget that I'm kind of crippled. So, if I feel better later today, I'm going to come out here and move those cabbages, mustard, Spanish onion, and shallot out here. And maybe try to clean some of this up, because these tomatoes are done. Ooh, maybe I should have picked those, but it's done now. So let's continue poking around here. Some of those currants and gooseberries had grown back a little bit, right? But no, I think they got the message. So I read about gourds. Apparently gourds can overwinter outside and inside. If they're inside, you get to be less afraid of if they're inside, you got to be more afraid of the mold when you walk in on them, but they'll have nicer patterns from all of the molds and funguses and stuff on them. I don't really care about the pattern too much, so much as the vessel, so I think I'll be good. So asparagus, strawberries. Shiso is already done beforehand, I think. Those seed heads. These, ooh, that really did freeze. So those roses, maybe I should move this pumpkin leaf. Hopefully they're not frozen together. There you go. So Those roses, I definitely want to move into their own pots this winter. I don't know if you can see that there's a ground cherry in there. They kind of spread everywhere, and I'm kind of not even mad. I have Creeping Charlie everywhere. I think that's Creeping Charlie. I've been ripping it out of everywhere because it spread so hard. I hope all of these mints are cold hardy, that I can just leave everything outside and it'll be okay. Oh, I have coffee. So this is definitely dandelion right here. This, I guess we'll see. It sort of looks like dandelion. Maybe I should have touched it to see if it's prickly and actually some more of that, what's it called, thistle? But I think it looks like dandelion. I guess we'll see when it blooms next year. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. Nice mushrooms sprouting out of it everywhere still. I'm excited about that. So, no onions sprouted here yet, but these, not tomatoes, carrots are going gangbusters. And they're cold hardy, of course, right? I guess I had a tomato that I didn't know about. Oh well. There's always a couple that get away from you. And then, maypops. So I'm wondering if it doesn't spring back after a frost and it'll just keep going. I think this tomato is definitely done. I think all of them are done. It'll be a slimy mess later today when it thaws. Even though some of them aren't, well, maybe they are covered in frost. Okra looks done. I think it's originally from the African continent somewhere, so I assume most things from Africa don't like being really, really cold. Yep, it's kind of awful. What's in here? I think that roughly leaf guy might be that endive that sprouted everywhere from the seed heads, which isn't bad. So from when I was putting these posts in, I thought I filled up the holes and the rain would really mash it down, but it hasn't, so there's still holes. So I feel like I should go through and refill that. Let's keep going. So hopefully in a couple of weeks those potato onions start looking like these Egyptian walking onions. I'm glad I went through and picked all that basil if it looks so dead now. It probably finished dying even more that first light frost that we had earlier. Oh, I didn't get any tomatillos. Maybe well, I think they weren't ripe, so they probably taste pretty acrid. I guess those will just go in the compost, and maybe next year the volunteers will try again. I do have some in my plant room, right? Because it didn't work out in the garden, so we'll see. I also put some more potato onions here, so no sprouts yet. And I don't know if you remembered, but I planted those pink dandelions here. That's one of those pink dandelions. Maybe one more in the corner there. I think there might be one hidden in here. So hopefully next year I have some pink dandelions blooming in addition to the big yellow one that I have. And I also, I timed it poorly. I shouldn't have. I planted white dandelion seeds when I planted that second set of cabbage sprouts that I have right now. So it is off season and timed poorly, and maybe I'm gonna have to have dandelions growing inside all winter long because I don't think they're big enough to have stored enough energy to be able to overwinter outside. We'll see. Maybe I'll plant them out in a couple of weeks when I put the second round of cabbages out. But I'll have yellow, white, and pink dandelions. All these nice strawberries. I have a field of strawberries everywhere. They're such a weed. Tasty weed, but such a weed. Maybe they'll outcompete this Creeping Charlie everywhere because their leaves are bigger. Maybe they'll shade it out. Oh, I wanted to say, I went to come dig up that last sweet potato. There were no potatoes in there. I didn't dig up the whole entire thing because my back feels so bad, but I did not find evidence of potatoes. So I just put the plant in the compost, and I guess it'll be another berry bush and strawberry pot, which is fine because I have more of that stuff coming, because I reordered the salmonberry that had died, a couple of the honeyberries that had died back, so I have pollinators, because right now I have mismatched blooming honeyberries, so I have no chance of ever getting berries. I also ordered a couple of sea berries, what else, a fig tree, and then a mixed mirabelle tree, because I couldn't help myself. I think they were out of stock though. We'll see if I actually get one in the spring or not. And then maybe a stone fruit tree, like fruit salad stone fruit, mixed varieties, like peach and nectarine and stuff. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. It would go in the ground if I got the septic system out, right? But that's not happening yet, and who knows if I can even reach the septic system, because they've been putting in a trench down there. Oh, I should go look to see what that white pipe is too, huh? So, it's definitely getting frosty here. Maybe I'll try to pull up all these pumpkin vines all over the place. So this bed is the one. Oh, I thought all the sage died back. A lot of it died back. Like it looks dead over there, right? So I'm gonna try to chop back a lot of the stuff here, like the oregano that's now frozen. So I think I'm gonna try to chop that back either with my sickle or some scissors or something. Pull up this tomato, this gigantic tomato. I'll have to cut off all of these orange twine holding it up. So pull up the tomato, put it in compost if I can manage to shove it in, and then plant out the cabbages here. There might be a bed that's easier to put it in though. This one would be the easiest, but I have all that lettuce and endives, and I put the potato onions in there already too, so that one's kind of done. And if I use this one, I'd have to move that sorrel first. I did want to move the sorrel to that bed, but with the state of my back currently, I don't think I can be prying things up with the shovel, right? So that one already has a ton of stuff in it, with all of that asparagus and Egyptian walking onions and things. That one, ooh, I still had that ridged loofah. Well, we'll see how it does. I think you're supposed to pick them after they're yellow. So that one already has potato onions, and then maybe I'll plant out into this one. Maybe this will be the productive bed for me, because I do have those broad beans in there. So maybe here, even though I do have chives, but I mean, why not chives and cabbages? I don't know if these rhubarb leaves will completely die back or not. And I guess that sage is still alive. That would shade things out. But, you know, midwinter it won't be shading things out. So maybe cabbages will have light. Oh, and I wanted to show you saffron crocuses coming up. So I have a pot here, another pot on the other side of the door, and then a small pot back where I put that what's it called, the little it was either a currant or a gooseberry that had sprouted in my cellar over the summer. I know it's covered in grass, there's only so much I can do. I have those Kyoto carrots sprouting in here. I put strawberries in here because I have too many strawberries, but I put the Kyoto carrots in too, so some of them have sprouted. Well, I don't think you need to see that third pot of crocuses. I think I don't remember if it was an order of 10 or 25, but it was a decent number of crocuses. So I need to review exactly which part of the flower it is to actually get that saffron, and then hopefully I didn't plant too late. Now let's go look quickly what that construction is doing back there. I don't trust them. And also I'll show you, I think something was nipping the ends of my river birch, and by something I'm pretty sure it's deer. So I wrapped them. They pretty much leave that walnut alone, but I think these, the birch looked eaten. Maybe these two spots with the little wooden stakes, I might put the maples that I want to move. I don't know what that is. Oh, maybe it's the end of the roll of the landscape fabric. So as part of their plans, they were supposed to put a drainage ditch with lookout holes to catch all the water from the site, because they raised it at least a couple feet, and because they're paving over so much, water drainage is an issue because they have that what's it called, the little stream going through the property, so they're changing the hydrology, so they had to definitely put in means of drainage. Well, that might be it for this week. We're already up to 16 minutes. It's pretty long. So, I'll leave it at that and see you next week.